Hey everyone, this is Sam and welcome to my 2K21 tutorial number 13. Today I will show you the exact control mechanics you need to shut down Blowbys and lock up isolation offense. Also, I will give you the solution to decrease online sliding dramatically so you won't feel like you're on ice skates anymore. And lastly, you will learn the best method on triggering ideal on-ball defensive animations on 2K21. So if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please share and like, and make sure to subscribe for more 2K21 tutorials all season. Also, you can check out my all 2K21 tutorials playlist in the description below to stay up to date and see more overpowering defensive tutorials. So in this year's game, when defending the ball, holding L2 or LT if you're on Xbox puts you in a defensive stance, as you can see Kawhi is right there. Now flicking the left stick will allow you to slide side to side to contain the on-ball handler. As you can see, I'm defending my friend in ISO. But in 2K21, if you hold L2 at the point of contact, you're gonna get blown by. My buddy did a behind the back momentum move there and I was holding on the L2 and you see I stood no chance, I got blown by right away. What you want to achieve though is this type of defense, and as you can see this time I'm moving a lot better, I'm cutting off Paul George and I'm pinning him and I'm triggering blow-by cancels. But what you end up experiencing a lot, especially online, is this, because the wrong mechanics are being used, so you're gonna slide around, get danced, and get scored on again and again and again. So here are the keys. First thing, you cannot hold L2 during on-ball defense as you slide. You can't hold it, you have to tap it, alright? So no holding down L2 when defending. At the same time though, you also can't hold turbo down either, because if you do that, you're gonna overcommit to the side you're sliding towards to, and a move like the behind the back is gonna blow by you every single time. So now that we know what we can do, let me show you the exact control mechanics you need to do to avoid disasters. So step 1, when you first load up the game, go to your features and go to your controller settings, alright? And when you're in there, make sure you go to your defense assist with intensity. Take it to 15 or 20, whatever you like, one in between. I like 20, 15 is good too. This will decrease sliding online and offline, guaranteed, especially online. So defensive assist at 20 or 15, try it out and you'll figure out what you like. As for the control mechanics, what you gotta do is you gotta defend the ball by tapping L2, then R2, back and forth for each step you take. That's what you're going to do to lock up opposing handlers this year. So the ratio is this. For every one step you take, you tap L2, then R2 for every step. This will decrease sliding majorly and it will also keep you moving very tight. So every one step, L2, R2. On contact versus the handler, if you're doing this method, it will cancel blowbys as you can see here, and it will also make you ride the handler's hip automatically. You see how resistant I am? I can't get blown by like this. When riding the attacker's hip, rapidly tap L2 then R2 back and forth until you're back in front. So rapidly tap it as you make contact until you're back in front. Once you're in front and no longer making hip contact anymore, you can go back to every step equals 1 L2 then R2 back and forth. So slow down. But when you're making contact, rapidly tap L2 and R2 and move the left stick to the angle you want to be until you get back in front. Don't stop rapidly tapping it. So this L2 then R2 back and forth method will give you the best defensive animations in the game. You can see here I'm doing the turnaround sprint recovery to counter against Paul George's crossover there. And on recovery, always angle your left stick to where the handler will be. Don't try to meet him by bumping him. Go to where you think he's going so he bumps into you. And the second best animation you get from rapidly tapping L2 and R2 like this is the blow-by cancel bump steal. You can see I get a steal there without clicking the steal, but then all I did was click L2, R2 back and forth. So normally this behind the back right here, this dribble move is a kill. But as you can see here, because I'm rapidly tapping L2 then R2, I can do the turnaround spin recovery, and it's OP because if I angle the left stick to where I think the offensive player is going to go, I'm going to cut him off, recover off against that behind the back crossover, pin him off, and contest a shot by jumping or holding right stick up. So the flashing white circle you can see underneath my Kawhi's feet means I'm tapping L2, R2 back and forth. The more I need to recover to get back in front, the faster I tap L2 and R2 back and forth, as you can see I'm doing there. It will allow me to recover and easily contest shots as I pin off the offensive player with either right stick up or by jumping. I can even steal the ball by just tapping L2 then R2 back and forth rapidly, so that's key. So what this really does is it's great at tracking up court and taking away the pain in half court, as you can see I'm doing there. Unless I'm making contact with the offensive player, I'm not going to rapidly tap it. Then it's just going to be every one step I take, L2, then R2, right? That's the rhythm. But as you try this method out yourself, what you're going to start seeing is if the opposing player turbos into you, you're going to do a blow-by animation cancel every single time. They cannot blow by you if you're tapping L2, then R2 rapidly as they hit you and make contact with you. And it will give you that turnaround recovery animation when you need it most. So if you are beat off the dribble, as you can see, my Kyle is turn around there, but I can recover while turn around tapping L2, then R2 rapidly. And if I make contact in the front, I'm going to stop the blow by animation. If I make contact on the side, I'm going to start riding the offensive player's hip right away, making it very hard for them to do anything. So really, you can only be beat by 1 to 1.5 steps doing this because you're sliding very effectively. So you can almost recover every time. Left trigger, then right trigger, back and forth is great at taking away the pain, as you can see time after time here. So what they really end up with is gonna be these like mid-range contest jumpers. Can they hit a step back mid-range jumper on you? Sure, but you'll still be able to contest it, so it's not a great shot at all. But you will always be in the way, riding their hip, recovering, contesting shots, being in good position to rebound and things like that. Now, and the best thing of this method, as you guys saw earlier, is that it can trigger steal animations without square. I'm literally just physically bumping the guy by rapidly tapping L2 then R2 back and forth like that, and I can get steal animations. And also my recovery speed is so fast, it makes switching work. So I just switch on the Siakam here, and I'm tapping L2 and R2 just to recover and make contact. See, once I make contact, I always get the animation advantage because I'm tapping L2 then R2 back and forth. So this back and forth tap method guarantees you blow by cancel if you're in front of the handler every time. So you can see my friend here has no chance blowing by my Kawhi because whenever they make contact with me, the advantage goes to me as the defender if I have those defensive assist strength with this L2 then R2 back and forth tapping method. When you make contact against me, I win because I get the animation advantage. This is how I trigger it. So once you get comfortable with this, you can even go for steals yourself by actually tapping square or the steal button just to make it much worse for the offensive player. You know, you just mess with their mind so that they know you'll reach, so they'll be afraid to show you the ball as you bump them to like oblivion. Like, look at all the bumping and tracking here. Now the key to this is this: the left stick, when you're angling it, you can't angle it to bump the offensive player. Don't do that. You're not doing the bumping. The bumping is done by them running into you, right? So that concept needs to change. A lot of you are asking me questions and showing clips on Twitter to me on how you're defending, and that's what most of you are doing wrong. You're trying to do the bumping yourself. No, just let them run into you. They have to go forward. They have to forward to score, right? They have to go forward to the basket or get closer to the basket to score. So go to where you think they will be. Let them bump into you. If they make that, they make that. Good on them. We can't stop it all. But this is a great dribble move by my friend, but you can see the L2 then R2 back and forth method recovery is OP. I shut it all down here. So try this. I guarantee you'll find success, and I hope you enjoy this, and I will speak to you guys again very soon.